Welcome back. Today I'm going to be drawing Black Panther in the Wakanda Forever pose. So let's get started. So first I'm going to start with the nose right in the center. And it's going to be a small pentagon shape. And off to the sides I'm going to draw a diagonal line up and out. And then straight on the ends. And then bringing a line horizontally straight across for the bottom of the eyes. We're going to drop down center and draw a line across for the chin, and then diagonal lines up along the sides here. And then as we come up along the side of his face, the mask kind of widens out a little bit, and then we'll create a pointed line for the ears, round it along the top, another pointed line on this side for the ear, and then we'll bring this line all the way down along the side of the eye and connect it back to where we left off. So let's do the design portion of the mask. One is kind of right above the eye here, and I'm going to bring a line up and then curve it out toward the bottom of the ear, and I'm just going to double that up. I like to call it a parallel line right along the side of it. Same thing on this side. Again, these designs are symmetrical, so they're the same on both sides. So anything I do on one side, I'm really doing on the other side as well. Same thing here, we're going to do another line that comes up, and this one we're going to do on the inside of the ear, and then bring it back down. Same thing on this side, up, and opposite on the inside of this ear, and then back in. All right, underneath the eye, we're going to make two diagonals, and then bring those down. Same thing on this side, diagonals in, and then down. And we can even add a little bit of a design above the eye shapes here. All right, moving down here, we're gonna add two curved lines for the neck, and then I'm gonna do a bump line on both sides for the beginning of his his shoulder area, and then bring another line out for his shoulders. All right. Here we're going to start with his arm in the Wakanda Forever pose. So I'm going to start with his hand first. And we're going to do kind of almost like a bump line here. And that'll be for his thumb. This is going to be for his pointer finger. And we're going to do 3 more bumps. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll round this out. And this is his arm coming across. So we're going to bring this line all the way across and down. And then we're going to kind of make this here. This is going to be his wrist, so we want to taper it in a little bit and then widen it out. All right, and we're going to do his arm that's underneath in the pose. So a little line that comes across here, a little bump here for his thumb, and then we're going to do 4 bumps on top. 1, 2, 3, 4 for his fingers. Bring that in. Again, this arm is overlapped, so we have to go right here. We'll do an implied line. And then it continues through here. This will be where his elbow is, tapered closer to the wrist. And then further out, this is where his forearm is. And let's round out his shoulder and the part of his arm here and leading into his elbow. Here we'll indicate the inside of his arm. And same thing on this side. Here's the inside of his arm here. And we'll round out his shoulder on this side, down to his elbow. I'm going to actually erase this line. Try a different eraser, so we can make his arm a little wider. Okay, that looks better. Coming down here for his body, I'm going to curve a line in and then taper it out. This will be where his hip is. And again, we're not drawing his full pose on this one, just kind of the top portion, more like a close-up. Here's the other side of his body, again tapering a line in and then out for his hip area. All right, adding some design elements to his costume just to give it some kind of contrast. And these can be, vary lines. You don't have to do exactly the same line I'm doing here. If you like them, of course, follow along. But again, they can kind of be some different designs as well. He does have this kind of belt area along his hip. All right, now on his arms, I'm again going to add some different kind of patterns and designs, 2 curved lines across and then bring 2 curved lines out. Same thing on this side, curved lines across, 2 curved lines out. And now we're going to add his necklace coming across the top here. So these spike areas, now these triangular areas here, and then we'll connect them along with a necklace piece. And then on his kind of his forearms here, the back of his forearms, we're going to have some triangle designs, and we'll do that as well on this side. And I'm just going to put some kind of design areas around his wrists as well. Starting to add some color. I'm first going to start by adding a darker color. So it's really 2 kind of colors here. I'm using a black Sharpie marker for today. I'm just being very careful to go in between all of those detailed areas that we made. Again, this is a fun piece, more of a kind of a close-up of Black Panther, as opposed to the full-length version that I did the other day. And I wanted to give you guys kind of a variation on this one to kind of show you the difference and kind of a little bit more detail on this. So if you don't have a Sharpie marker for this, that's all right. You can use a black crayon, different type of marker, any material that you really have works, just a kind of a darker area. Even a pencil, if you've shaded in with a pencil, that works really well as well. Okay, I'm going to leave a little bit of a line in between here just to indicate a bit of a highlight. And so we show kind of a contrast there. Since we're working again with essentially one color here, we're going to have to leave some space open to show some lines and where the contrast is. Back and forth marker stroke, and moving on to this side of him, again around his hand here, and we'll come back and we'll indicate a line for the kind of the highlighted area. And again, I'm kind of very carefully just going around all of these design areas that I've made on the costume. Really important to leave those open and for now, and then we'll come back and we'll add the color through. And coming along to the wrist area. And I'm just going to go back and fill this in with a marker stroke. Again, just back and forth, nice and slow with these marker strokes. Make sure you're really filling in the space and trying to stay as neat as you possibly can. Now, they usually talk about the contour lines, the direction of the kind of the shape. So we kind of want to be aware of that as we're adding the color. So as you can see, as this contour line comes up like this, I'm just kind of following along that line. All right, onto the hand, and again, I said I'm going to leave a little bit of a space there to indicate a highlight, so we can see the contrast between the hand and where his upper body is here. And same thing with this hand, again leaving a little bit of a space in between. I'm going to work on the middle part of his body here. Working back and forth with the marker stroke, coming to the other side of his body. And here we'll leave a little bit of space above his arm, or above his hand, I should say, to indicate that contrast area. Outside section of his arm, and then below the design area around his elbow, and bringing it back up and through. With a little bit of a space coming along the top of his arm here to indicate that bit of highlight around the detail sections. And I'm just filling this in with the marker stroke again. I've gotten a chance to watch Black Panther a few times now, and I really enjoy watching all of the details and the scenes in that movie, and just seeing the details in the costume. I think the costume is so amazing and so awesome. The Black Panther costume is one of my favorite characters, as I said, from Marvel, but also just the design of the costume, and it looks so cool. And if you have a favorite Marvel character, if you like Black Panther, as I do, comment below, let me know. I'd like to know your characters that you like as well, or if you want me to draw something else, please suggest it below as well in the comments section. Okay, coming down below this design area. Okay, and just to finish off this section below, around this hip area. And we're going to leave this one as a vignette, which means it's kind of, you know, open along the edges. We're not fully closing it to the edges of the page. Let's fill in this little section here. And we are going to just add one more thing here. Shade in some silver areas for some of these detail areas that we have made on the costume. A little extra kind of design color. A little separation and a little more design. And we are going to call that one finished. I hope you guys really enjoyed this version of Black Panther. Please give him a try. It's a lot of fun to draw. And post it down below. I'd love to see your work. Bye.